Wembley, Wembley, indeed. Man United going to Wembley for Erik ten Hag's first cup final as United manager. And what are we? 6-7 months into the job? That there tonight, it was a routine win. 5-0 on aggregate. He put out a strong team. He made it clear that he wanted United to control the game, and we did for the overwhelming majority up until the period in the second half where Forest got into it, and Ten Hag said, absolutely not. Rashford, on you go. Sancho, on you go. Martial, on you go. As soon as that happened, the game swung back to United. And Erik ten Hag, we've got through another game there. 12 consecutive wins at Old Trafford, including 8 clean sheets. And I think that means we've scored over 30 goals in those games. Erik ten Hag knows what he is doing. You might question whether or not Casemiro should be starting this game next. But I tell you what, I was a little bit squeaky bum time when he got that yellow card for the slip, because in the League Cup, 2 consecutive yellows mean he would have missed the final, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. We got through 5-0 on aggregate, the 26th of February. Book the date, ladies and gents. We're playing Newcastle in the final at Wembley. That's going to be an absolute scorcher. What's your thoughts on the overall game? In the first half, let's be completely honest, Man United had control, but it was measured. We weren't really offering too much threat. We were all up into the edge of the box. Anthony was decent at times. Garnacho was running direct, but we weren't taking enough shots. We weren't peppering the goal enough. It was Casemiro's ball in to Weghorst when he hit the post. That was the biggest chance we had in the first half. But sod all of that. We've waited a long time for this. He has waited a long time for this. And did you hear Old Trafford? Did you see Old Trafford? Did you see Ten Hag? Listen. I think that's probably what he was saying. Listen to this crowd. They're so happy to have you back. And he looked happy to be back. That was a picture of him in the warm-up, beaming with a smile ear to ear. That was him just as he was coming on. Welcome back, Jadon Sancho. And I tell you what, he looked exciting when he came on. And I tell you who else looked exciting, just overall. That front three. Look, I know I've done a video saying that we should sell Martial in the summer, because I can see myself going down this damn path again. Martial looked good when he came on. United looked, as we are a better team when he's on the pitch. But I know full well he's going to get injured again, and I'm just going to be left disappointed. If not, happy to change my stance on it. But when Ten Hag made those changes, and I want to reiterate how important that was. Forest were really getting into the game at that point. The momentum seemed to be shifting, and the Forest crowd were getting behind them, the away fans. Ten Hag went, absolutely fucking not. This is my game. And by putting Rashford, Martial and Sancho on, it changed it completely. Sancho was kind of operating, in my predicted 11, I said he could operate as a false 9. It wasn't particularly as a false 9, but kind of playing a little bit central. Bruno out on the right-hand side. Sancho being allowed to drift centrally, because Sancho's brilliant at finding those killer passes, those instinctive passes. And just we look good. Martial's goal, a great move from United. A little bit fortunate that it fell to Martial, but a very good finish. Left foot, swept it into the corner. United, from that point on, we had a real control of that game. And, mate, if we can... Here we go again. Here we go again. If we could just keep Martial fit, we're going to be a better team going forward. I know that. You know that. Every United fan knows that. We all know that. I've just kind of checked out because I feel like I know what's coming. But don't let it happen, Martial. Find that fitness that somehow seems to elude you more than anybody else. I don't know whether he's just unlucky or not. But we look a better team with him in. And I know we do. How good is Casemiro, though? Right? Can we just pause and just appreciate and admire game after game after game? I know there's going to be people that are worried about his fitness. Oh, I'll be playing him every week. Mate, this dude won 5 Champions Leagues. And I'm pretty sure he played every single game in those seasons. He would have been used to 45, 50 game seasons. He's strong as an ox. He's fit. He's capable. And the majority of that game was exactly what Ten Hag thought it was going to be, right? Ten Hag clearly has a policy where he'd rather start his strongest team and take them off rather than going, oh shit, I shouldn't have rested those. Now we're chasing a game. And in the last 20, 30 minutes, throwing everyone on. That's not his style of management. And it's working. Look, 12 consecutive wins at Old Trafford, including 8 clean sheets. It's almost like Ten Hag knows what he's doing. We're into the cup final there after a 5-0 cruised aggregate win over Nottingham Forest. I think Ten Hag knows what he's doing. And Casemiro, my, does he know what he's doing in midfield? We are building a new look team. And I tell you what, this photo for me They are the two cornerstones, the two new leaders that we needed in defence and midfield. The defensive midfielder we've been crying out for. I mean, anybody who's been a United People's TV subscriber for a long time will know how many conversations I had about needing a defensive midfielder. And then we've gone to sign the absolute best one in the world. And it's just like, bing! He's been the player that's tied it all together. But Martinez himself, Martinez has stood up against the criticism that everybody threw at him before he'd even kicked a ball. And he is making everybody look like dicks. Graham Souness included, James Carragher included, probably every single person who exists on TalkSport included. Just an imperious defender who really is helping with... Look, we wouldn't have kept 8 clean sheets at Old Trafford. It wasn't for him. Of course, Lindelof and Maguire, they've done their part in the last couple of games too. But look, it was as controlled as it needed to be. And just to go back to it again, that must have meant so much to Jadon Sancho. After all the turmoil and the time in the shadows, he's now back in the spotlight. He's back and he's ready, he's fit and he's capable. And Ten Hag, I'll tell you what, if he can get these players staying fit and firing, and then adding Weghorst in there as an option, and then you've got Garnacho there, and you've got Anthony there, and you've got Pellistri even further than that, and Ahmad to come back off loan. Mate, strap yourselves in, ladies and gents. We've got some exciting football coming up. I'll tell you who was very good in that game, somebody who I will always defend, is Bruno Fernandes. Just some exquisite passing from him, left foot, right foot, inside of the boot, outside of the boot. Don't know what he was doing. It was almost the most Bruno Fernandes injury in the world when he slid in and got kneed in the head by Anthony. That would have been peak Bruno Fernandes. He is a little bit chaotic at times. I would admit, everybody knows it. But he is an incredible playmaker. That cross for Rashford when he dinked it back into Fred. It was like a work of art. It was perfect. It was measured. And at his peak, Bruno Fernandes is one of the best playmakers in the world. And when you see the fact that we could be having these three fit and firing and ready again, imagine what happens when you drop Bruno Fernandes in behind them. United are going to be creating. And look, welcome to United, Marcel Sabitzer. You're looking there tonight. I think Fred in that first half, somewhat leaving something to be desired, I think is a fair way to describe it. I'm not slighting his overall game, but I'm really excited to see what Sabitzer does when he brings in a new energy inside that midfield. Fred's got that energy, but he doesn't have the ball progression competence, I think, that Marcel Sabitzer would have. And I'm really looking forward to seeing a midfield trio of Marcel Sabitzer with Casemiro and Bruno. So look, welcome to United. We might even see him against Crystal Palace at the weekend. I thought Weghorst was really unlucky not to score with that header. It was an awkward header, a wonderful cross from Casemiro, who is more than just a defensive midfielder. But Weghorst there, kind of leaning back, angled the header just off the foot of the post. Unlucky for him. Anthony, again, I enjoyed watching Anthony. It feels like, and I'm not sure if you saw it in the first half. No one really mentioned it on the commentary. He did his roulette, his spin. For me, that goes to show the confidence is coming back again. For him to do that after so much outrageous criticism. It's like offended for the sake of being offended when he did that last time. How it was a talking point, I have no idea. By the way, speaking of talking points, right? It ultimately didn't affect the game. How in the fuck was that not a penalty on Weghorst? He literally touched the ball away from the defender and got booted by the defender. I mean, how is that not a penalty? VAR is right there. It's a joke. It really does seem that United, because we got that decision against City, you're not getting anything for the rest of the season now, lads. That was just a straight up penalty. No conversation needed. No replay really required. And if it was, it's a stonewall penalty. Outrageous. But didn't matter. Man United, 2-0 winners tonight, 5-0 winners on aggregate. Happy days. We're into the final. Wembley, 26th of February against Newcastle. Man, I'm buzzing for that. And I'm so happy to see these three back together, to see him back on the pitch with a smile on his face, and to say that Erik Ten Hag is our manager. 12 consecutive wins at Old Trafford, 8 clean sheets, 30-plus goals scored, 5-0 winners on aggregate in the League Cup semi-final. Bring on Wembley, bring on Newcastle. Sancho's back as well. Big smile on my face. So many reasons. And Martial scoring too. So many reasons to be positive. And Casemiro. What? Casemiro.